Listen here. So here you can see what are the major nutritional requirements of human beings. The main purpose of nutrients is to give energy, to help in the growth, and also to effectively promote the function of our immune system. So that is, we are taking nutrients mainly to maintain our overall health. That is the primary purpose of taking nutrients. And there are different type of nutrients are there. Here you can see that the carbohydrates are there, proteins are there, fats are there, vitamins are there, minerals, water and fiber. So out of this, carbohydrate, protein and fat are considered as the major vitamins, major nutrients. All other are considered as minor nutrients or micronutrients. And these micronutrients are needed by the body in smaller quantities, whereas macronutrients or major nutrients are needed by the body in larger quantities. So here you can see that the nutrients can be classified into macronutrients as well as micronutrients. And coming to the macronutrients, here you can see that the first one is the carbohydrate. And coming to the carbohydrate, you can see that the main carbohydrate that we are taking is starch. For example, you are taking rice, it is a starch. You are taking wheat, it's also a starch. So carbohydrates are the main source of energy. They are providing a lot of energy for our various activities. And here you can see that what are the important sources from which we are taking our carbohydrate. They include rice, wheat, and fruits are there, vegetables are there, and legumes are also there. So these are the major categories of carbohydrates which we are taking. Now here also you can see that out of the different type of food nutrients that we are taking, 45% to 65% of our energy or daily calorie should be coming from carbohydrate. So that will give you an idea of how much carbohydrate you should be taking. That is maximum 65%. Now the second one is the proteins. What is the main function of protein? Here you can see the function of protein is to build and repair body tissues. So building the body or repairing the body, that is the main function of the proteins that you are taking. And they are also involved in producing enzyme or production of enzymes. And many of the hormones in your body are also proteins. So coming to the function of the proteins, they are helping in synthesizing the body tissue and also formation of hormones as well as enzyme. And you can also see that our antibodies, they are also proteins. So in the immune system also, or in providing immunity also, proteins are playing a major role. Then you can see what are the major sources of protein. The most important sources are meat, red meat or white meat. Fish is an important source. Eggs are an important source. Legumes are important source. Dairy, nuts and soya products. So all these are some of the important sources from which we can obtain different type of proteins. Then how much amount of protein you should be taking? Earlier we were telling that 45 or to 65% of our daily energy or calories should be coming from carbohydrate. Here you can see that 10 to 35% of our daily calories should be coming from proteins. So that is an idea of how much protein. So after the carbohydrate, it should be the protein that you should be taking in your food. Then what are the different type of proteins? Here you can see there are two types of proteins are the complete proteins and as well as incomplete protein. Coming to the complete protein, they will be containing all essential amino acid. If there are 20 major amino acids are there, if all the important essential amino acids are present in a protein, we call it by the name complete protein. Best example is the case of egg, milk, meat, etc. They will be containing most of the important amino acid. That is why we call it by the name complete protein. Then we have incomplete protein, and they may not be containing all the important amino acid, like one or more essential amino acid, plant proteins that we obtain from beans and lentils. So this is an example of incomplete protein. So coming to the protein, there are two types, complete protein as well as incomplete protein. Then we have fats are there. Coming to the function of the fat, their main function is to provide energy. Another function of the fat is to help in the absorption of fat soluble vitamin A, D, E and K. They can be absorbed by the body only if sufficient quantity, sufficient amount of fat or lipids are available in your body. So that is the another important function of the fat. And they are also protecting your organ. For example, you take nerve, we have myelin sheath, they are giving a protection to the nerve. So that kind of function is also a part of that. And above all, fat are a stored form of energy. That is a reserve form of energy. So that is another function of the fat. So mainly the fats are providing energy. One important property of the fat is that from 1 kilogram of carbohydrate we get around 4 kilocalories of energy, and from 1 gram of protein, 1 gram of fat, we will be getting 9 kilocalories of energy. That is, from same quantity the fat will be giving more amount of energy. That is the reason why instead of storing our energy in the form of carbohydrate or protein, body is storing energy in the form of fat, because storing energy in the form of fat means it takes only less space. That is one advantage of storing energy in the form of fat. Here you can see that only 20 to 35% of our daily energy calories should be coming from fat. And if you are eating a lot of meat, milk products, chocolates, all these will be containing a lot of fat, and fat will be increasing your amount of reserve food material, and fat will be stored in some part of the body, and that will be increasing your overall weight. This is one important problem people are nowadays facing because of the lack of exercise. Then we have different type of fats are there. One is saturated fats are there, that are mainly found in animal products as well as processed food. Then we have unsaturated fat. These unsaturated fats are mainly found in plant-based oil, nuts, seeds, etc. Then industrially processed unhealthy fats are there. They are known by the name trans fat. So these are the three major category of fat. So that will give you what are the different types of fats which are available. Then so here you can see that about the classification of major nutrients, we have macronutrients, then we have micronutrients. Coming to micronutrients, the idea is very clear because you have been studying about all these from your high school classes onwards. So about the micronutrients, they are needed by the body in very small quantity. That is why they are known as micronutrients, and our body, but even though they are needed by the body in very small quantity, still their absence can lead to a lot of diseases, which we call as a deficiency diseases. So one important type of micronutrients is the vitamin. Vitamins can act as cofactor in enzyme, that is cofactor is the non-protein part of an enzyme. Then it also helps in providing immune function or increasing your immunity, maintain your healthy skin, vision and bone. For example, in the case of our rhodopsin, we need vitamin A. In the absence of vitamin A, our ability, our vision will be affected. So here you can see that vitamin are of different type. The first one is the fat soluble vitamins. They include A, D, E and K. These are the different types of fat soluble vitamins. For example, vitamin A, they are very important in giving proper vision, and most of the time we are obtaining this vitamin A from carrot or liver. These are the two important sources of vitamin A. And for example, people living in island community, for example communities like Lakshadweep or Maldives etc., the problem with people experiencing there is they do not get a lot of fresh vegetable. So what happens is that students may not, sometimes may be having this vision difficulty. They may not be able to see certain things clearly on the board. I have seen such cases several times because they are not eating a lot of carrot. So carrot and liver are the important source of vitamin A. In the absence of that, our retina, development of our retina may not be proper. And second one is the vitamin D, and they are mainly involved in bone health and calcium absorption. And vitamin D are mainly obtained from sunlight. And that is all. For example, we are living in a state where there is plenty of sunlight. But if you go to European countries, especially countries near the Arctic region, so regarding the vitamin D, their problem is that especially people living in European countries, they are not getting sufficient quantity of sunlight. So they will be having this problem. So if there is a lack of sunlight, development of vitamin D may not be taking place properly, and that will be making our bone weak. So that is the problem of lack of vitamin D. So it will be causing the bones to become more brittle. That is one problem. Then antioxidant, vitamin E. Vitamin E are mainly obtained from nuts and seeds. For example, if you go to the Kashmir area, people living there will be eating a lot of badam nuts. Last few days back, I was seeing a video, and in that video they are telling that one community living in Pakistan, in high ranges of Pakistan, they have a very long lifespan. There are two reasons for that. They are eating plenty of these seeds. So eating seeds like badam daily, because that will be increasing the amount of antioxidant, and more antioxidant in your body means that can fight against the aging chemicals in your body. So this is one advantage of having a lot of antioxidant. Then another is the vitamin K. Vitamin K is a blood can interfere with the blood clotting. If vitamin K is not present in your body in sufficient quantity, the clotting may not be taking place properly. There are certain areas where vitamin K is needed. So, and this vitamin K is mostly obtained from green leafy vegetables like spinach, etc. So that is the principal source of vitamin K. Then similarly we have water soluble vitamins they are vitamin C and vitamin B. Vitamin C are mainly involved in synthesis of collagen, like for citrus fruits. In earlier times, people were moving mainly in ship. So that those times, scurvy was an important problem of the people living in, people traveling in ship. The problem with the scurvy is that scurvy is a disease mainly affecting sailors. Here you may be able to see how the scurvy is. So this is a disease primarily affecting the gums, etc. So this is how the scurvy can be, these are some of the symptoms of scurvy. Here you can see that. So but mainly this scurvy is affecting people traveling in ship, because they are not getting fresh vegetables, especially vegetables like orange, etc., orange, lemon, etc. So nowadays people traveling in ship will be taking a lot of oranges as well as lemon, etc. That will be giving them vitamin C, because only from fresh vegetables or fresh fruits vitamin C will be obtained. Another type is the B complex vitamin. They have different type vitamin B1 to vitamin B12, and they are mainly concerned with the energy metabolism and also nerve function. And then most of the vitamin B's are obtained from meat or whole grains like rice, etc. Unpolished rice will be containing a lot of vitamin B. So this is an idea regarding the different type of vitamins like fat soluble and water soluble. Then we have minerals are there. Coming to the minerals, here you can see that they are mainly involved in structural roles like providing health to bone health or teeth health, and also in metabolic process. For example, we have different types of minerals. Macro minerals are there like calcium, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, and sodium. And these are needed by the, especially calcium. In the absence of calcium, if there is a deficiency of calcium, bones will become more softer, brittle. Then potassium is needed. Potassium is also needed for the muscle function as well as functioning of the nerves. The main source of potassium is banana and potatoes. Then we have micronutrients or trace minerals, and they are needed by the body in a very small quantity like iron, zinc, iodine and selenium. For example, in the case of iron is mainly important in the formation of hemoglobin. If there is a deficiency of iron, our hemoglobin may not be formed and RBC may not be working properly. So red meat and spinach are important source of iron. And similarly iodine for the formation of thyroid hormones, iodine is needed. Iodine is mainly obtained from iodized salt and also from seafood. These are the two important areas of iodine. Then water is another important thing. Because we need, our body is mainly water. So water is providing our body in a hydrated state. It is regulating the temperature of the body. It is helping in transportation. If there is a lack of water, the blood become more thicker. Then it is helping in the digestion. So water is an important ingredient, important component of our body. Nearly more than 60% of our body will be water. And approximately 2 or 3 liters of water are needed by people every day. So that means even if you, that is why parents usually say drink a lot of water. If you are not drinking enough amount of water, it will be creating a lot of problem later, especially kidney problems and liver problems, etc. Then dietary fiber, that is also an important thing. Coming to the dietary fiber, we have 2 different type of fibers are there, soluble fiber as well as insoluble fiber. The difference between soluble fiber and insoluble fiber is that insoluble does not dissolve in water, other will be dissolving in water to form a gel-like substance, and are mainly obtained from beans, apple, citrus, etc. Advantage of soluble fiber is that they will be helping to reduce your blood cholesterol and also sugar level. So that is one advantage of soluble fiber. Whereas in the insoluble fiber, for example, in the insoluble fiber, like the stem of the banana, that is containing a lot of insoluble fiber. So and all these substance will be increasing the bulk of the stool. That is, if you are eating a lot of insoluble fiber, the digestive process, especially there will not be any problem of constipation, because if the fecal matter contains enough amount of water, the passing the stool may not be a problem. If water is deficient, if there is not sufficient quantity of water in your excretory matter or feces, that will make the this excretion very difficult. That is one problem many people are experiencing. So it is, but overall it is promoting the health, digestive health. It is also reducing the occurrence of chronic disease like diabetes and heart disease, and also important in the weight management. So these are some of the important problems that we are facing if we are not taking sufficient quantity of dietary fiber, because that prevents constipation and also reduce your blood cholesterol as well as blood sugar level. So here you can see that there is an idea known as balanced diet. What balanced diet is saying, we need all the nutrients in small as well as in sufficient quantity, so that the optimal health will be maintained by the body without having any kind of deficiency, disease or other kinds of problem. So this is an idea regarding what are the major type of nutrients, and most of this you have studied somewhere else. So remember what are the major nutrients and also what are the minor nutrients or micronutrients, as well as the functions of fiber and water. ഇത്രയാണ്